Yo guys, what is up? Max on our first Descendant video, and today we're going over one of the craziest interactions that I've come across. Now, my chat told me about this yesterday while I was working on my Valby build, and it absolutely changed the way that I play and look at Valby, and I wanted to share it with you because it potentially puts her in S tier as not only an ability-based character, but also a gun-based character. It's a little busted, and I just wanted to break it down for you guys real quick because I plan on having my full build video out for her hopefully tomorrow, but I wanted to mess around with this a little bit more and just get this information out there. Also, I do apologize. I've been in California away from the First Descendant for the past 5 days. I visited Ubisoft to play Star Wars Outlaws, and I visited Blizzard to play the new Diablo class, so I'm quite behind on my First Descendant farming and content. I made a few videos that you probably saw the past few days that have been posted, but just letting you know that I'm back and I'm back on the grind, and I will be churning out some First Descendant content for y'all. All right, let's talk about it. So the very first thing we need to talk about is crit chance. Now, crit chance in this game from basically all sources is multiplicative, meaning that if I have a Thunder Cage that has 20% crit chance and I add a mod that increases my crit rate by 39%, I'm not going to go to 59% crit chance. I'm going to get a 7.8% increase because I'm going to get 39% more of my base. So what that looks like is we're going to be doing 20 times 1.39 for 27.8. This is why you build some weapons for crit chance, because crit chance mods are going to give you a lot if your base is high enough, versus if, for example, we're using a rocket launcher with 1% crit chance. If I add a whole mod that gives me 39% more, I'm not even going to go up a full percent. So crit chance is really good on specific weapons. However, there is a character, Valby, that can make crit chance good on basically everything. So I want to show you off just how crazy this is. So Enzo's crit chance increase for himself that he has is a 20% increase. It seems to work pretty similar to other things. So if I have my Python on right here, my Python has a crit chance of 5%. 1.2 times 5 is going to be 6. So if I'm holding my Python and then I cast my Z ability, now when we go and look at our Python, I now have a 6% crit chance increase. I'm getting a 20% increase of my 5%. So that, not all that great. I only would be using this weapon with weapons that are already critting a lot, basically. However, Valby's a bit different. So this is where it's going to start to get really crazy. Now, Valby has a mod called Supply Moisture that reads, while on water, increase your skill crit hit rate, your skill duration, and firearm attribute trigger rate. Now, this is a hidden feature, whether it's a bug or not, if they plan on patching this, I don't know, that it actually increases your firearm crit chance. But instead of being a percentage increase or off of our base, it's going to be off of our final. And so now we take that Python, right? My Python, once again, has 5% crit chance. And now when I throw my water down, I'm going to get a 5 times increase of my base, or of my final. So now my Python has 25% crit chance. It just went from 5% to 25% just simply standing on some water. The Thunder Cage, for some reason, different weapons get different percent or different multipliers. So the Thunder Cage gets a 2x multiplier. I'm going to go from 39% on my Thunder Cage. My Thunder Cage right now is fully built for crit. And I toss my water down, and now my Thunder Cage is at 78% crit chance. The Tamer, which is one of the strongest weapons in the entire game, which we specifically build for weak point because crit rate and crit damage isn't very good on it. Now, now I throw my water down for my Tamer. Now, all of a sudden, my Tamer has a 54% crit rate. So it's critting more than half of its shots. And when it crits, it's doing 5 times damage. This changes Valby from a, kind of decent AoE mobber into arguably one of the strongest gun descendants in the entire game. And it's not even close. And this isn't even talking about what it does for Valby's abilities. Valby also gets a multiplier on her abilities. So right now, I've got 11% crit chance. Watch what happens when I stand on water for my ability crit chance. Ready for this? Now I've got a 59% crit rate. And so this kind of blows my mind because now Valby is not only the best crit gun descendant, but she's also the best crit ability Descendant, like even better than Blair, who's got a bunch of like crit stuff built into his kit. And all it has to take is for us to stand on water. Just to give you an idea of what this looks like when we are standing on our water and like critting this often, you'll see that, you know, we are just critting all the time with our abilities, which is insane because crit is a multiplier that is we can add on to our base to just do ridiculous amounts of damage. As you can see, things are just getting crit all the time. And so Ultimate Valby comes out very soon. I think Ultimate Valby's in exactly about 2 weeks from today. At the start of next month, and I will have my Valby build out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about all these things and how to build weapons on her, but I just wanted to get you guys aware of this and get you farming this supply moisture mod, because not only is it insane for weapons, but it's insane for Valby, and it turns her into one of the strongest characters in the entire game. It is just kind of ridiculous. Now, whether this gets fixed or nerfed or whatever, I'm not sure, but as it stands right now, if you are looking to deal ridiculous amounts of damage, I strongly recommend farming this supply moisture mod. I had a little bit of a theory that the lower the weapon's crit, the bigger it got boosted from this mod, and I actually was kind of right on that. So this is the Vestigial Oregon. You've probably seen it in some Glay videos. It does some crazy damage, but you can't build it for crit because its crit chance is like 1%. I just threw on some random mods because I obviously don't have crit mods leveled for it, because why would you ever build it for crit? But just to give you an idea, when we throw it on Valby now, now we've got a 25% crit chance on a rocket launcher that has a 1% crit chance base. So yeah, that is Valby. That's pretty freaking ridiculous. Yep. In terms of actually farming supply moisture, there's a lot of places that you can farm it. The Hagios areas, like the Haven, and all the missions on Hagios have a decent chance to drop it. In terms of actually farming supply moisture, there's a lot of mission monsters that drop it. My chat was telling me that they mostly were getting it just from doing missions on Hagios or doing missions in the fortress, which this mod has a chance of dropping. Doing like the dungeon, Heart of the Fortress, or doing the dungeon, the Haven, the monsters in that can drop, and you can kind of double dip and get like amorphous materials from doing that. I personally farmed mine from normal void fusion reactors. If you go to a fusion reactor on normal, supply moisture, at least in like the fortress or in Hagios, the reactors have a 2.2% drop chance, which is obviously pretty low, but the requirements are halved or more than halved. So for example, if I put this on hard mode to open this thing, it's a 2.5% drop chance, but I need 37 polymer and 8 organic void shards, versus if I put this on normal, I only lose 0.3% drop chance, and I'm only costing me 3 organic and 12 polymer. So it's about a third of the cost, which is incredible. And then you can put it on hard, farm all of the materials that you need to get, where you're getting way more materials doing it on hard, more polymer, more organic, and then you just swap it to normal and then actually open it, and then you can open it with, you know, slightly less chance, but you can open it way more times. And that's how I personally farmed my supply moisture. It took me, I want to say, about 2 hours of farming it, so definitely not an easy mod to come by. You can also try to get it by like combining transcendent modules. I tried that as well, had no luck. But yeah, guys, that is the video. I will have my like full Valby breakdown build tomorrow. I would love your guys' input on a Descendant like Valby, how many catalysts you'd like to see on her, because, you know, Ultimate Valby comes out in about 2 weeks. I don't feel like it's overly worth to make a build video with like 5 catalysts on her, because most people probably aren't going to be investing that much into her. So we'll probably do either 0 catalyst or 1 catalyst on her for the build video guide tomorrow. But yeah, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how much you kind of want to see catalyst wise on the Valby build, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.